Ever notice your dog slowing down and having health issues and wonder, what can I do to make them better? Well, my friend, add Rough Greens to your dog's food for 90 days and I guarantee you'll see changes that will amaze you. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, inventor of Rough Greens here, and I invite you to give your pup the Rough Greens 90-day challenge. In the first 30 days, you'll see shinier coats and increased energy. By day 60, your dog will have a stronger immune system, less shedding, improved joint function, all due to the live nutrients that you've added to their diet. And at 90 days, better digestion, reduced inflammation, improved heart health, and you may even have reduced their cancer risk. Fetch your dog a free Jumpstart trial bag today. Go to roughgreens.com, use promo code 90day. That's ruffgreens.com. Use promo code 90day. You just cover the shipping. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on chumbacasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at chumbacasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's chumbacasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You are now listening to the most electrified and vilified podcast on the net, Hot Topix Podcast. Let's get this party started.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I was making sure everything, everything was being recorded. We didn't do our our test. So
you do have to get that gentleman back that we forgot to who was he? The guy that he talked to us for a long time.
Oh,
he had a lot of information.
Anthony.
Yeah, we had to get him back because
yeah,
we didn't do a check and things weren't being recorded, and we're still new family. We working things out.
Yeah, and so even how I have it set up right now, if we had the connection coming in, it wouldn't have recorded it because I got the sound effects. So, oh well.
Oh, we'll work it out.
Welcome everybody to the Hot Topix Podcast. I'm Psycho 41, and I'm with my co-host
Lamb Chop.
Yes, thank you for coming. Polonius Feather is not available today.
Yeah, she's a little under the weather.
Yes, and let me tell you what happened.
You are not. I will not allow you to put her business in the street.
Let me tell you what happened. She got caught shoplifting.
You know what? Stop it. Stop it.
She got caught shoplifting at the Dollar Tree.
Nope.
And she didn't have an ID.
Nope.
So she ended up getting arrested for stealing $11.13 worth of stuff.
Eyes.
All right. So this is the first episode in February.
First episode in Black History Month.
Black History Month. What is this? No, Groundhog Dog Day was yesterday or today?
I don't follow.
February 2nd?
What is it? Puxatawny Phil?
Oh, today, right?
Oh, it was today. So what did he say?
I don't know.
Let's find out. So listen, we need to do a Black History fact.
Yes.
Every podcast
I agree.
this month.
Especially since there is a organized effort to remove Black history or anything of that's diverse.
Yep.
From the federal government and schools, whatever, from
everywhere.
Exactly. So this guy has a nerve, and you know what guy I'm talking about.
Yeah, we won't even say his name.
To order the federal government not to recognize MLK, Martin Luther King Day, not to recognize Black history, not to recognize was it the LGBTQ plus any of that anymore. So I'm like, how are you going to? Those things are national holidays, and that's you get those from Congress,
right?
So I just read an article earlier that said that he was doing something. He's trying to basically, claim that his presidential powers, he could do a lot more.
You are not the king, sir.
He really wants to be a dictator, and it's clear every day. There's something else that's clear. Now, mind you, talking about having a diverse workforce and all of those type stuff. He sincerely believes that DEI means you're not qualified because in his interviews, with the plane crash recently.
I didn't even watch.
Okay, so in DC, there was a jet that was coming in.
Yes, and a military
helicopter
hit
that crashed. And instead of him going out being the commander in chief, the leader of this country, he goes out there and doesn't give people, I'm sorry for this and a condolence. He blames it on DEI with no investigation.
How is that possible?
He said because of DEI and the policies of the Biden administration. Yeah, and I'm like,
how though? How?
Because he pulled it out his ass.
Just because. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but his whole thing was like, if you listen to his
This is so dangerous.
thing, his whole thing was basically saying that you're not qualified unless you're a white male.
Yeah, I believe that 100%.
Yeah,
100%. I believe that.
So, but then a lady got on the internet. I saw her, and she had put out all this stuff like he fired the safety chief, all these federal workers.
Right.
He put a hiring freeze on the air traffic controllers. So they was overworked. So she laid it out. She says, "I'm holding you personally responsible because you got rid of the safety people. You got rid of he went down the line." So.
Yeah, it's just sad. It is just sad state of affairs.
So apparently since then, it's been 4
crashes.
Yeah.
Now I saw the other one where the plane hit the neighborhood.
That was in Philadelphia.
Right, that was in Philadelphia.
There was one I think in Texas.
Jesus.
And there was another one somewhere. But then just today or this morning I was reading where some aircraft got grounded because of engine.
Oh my God. That is so scary. Yeah. It is so scary out there. But yeah, they didn't want to pay those air traffic controllers. So we got shortcuts, Yeah,
and I guess, you heard what he's trying to do with the IRS.
No.
Wait. He said he's going to fire 90,000 IRS workers and put them on the border. Yes.
To do what?
Border Patrol. He says, some of them can carry guns. Yes.
If he gets away with doing all of these things that he wants to do, our economy is going to crash.
It is.
And crash hard.
All right. Speaking of which. So he decides to put in tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China.
Right.
Now, we already know, we buy stuff from Walmart and what's called Shein, Wish,
Temu, yes,
and any other big
place. Yeah.
So that's 10% that comes back to us. Now, Mexico, he put 25%. Mexico and Canada. So, and I was talking to my brother. I was like, a lot of stuff comes from Canada. A lot of food products. Not, anything. Kellogg's.
Right.
So cereal's already expensive. So now just imagine 25% higher.
Plus, because they want to make a profit.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So in turn, our 2 closest neighbors, allies.
Well, were. They may not be any longer.
So now they put in tariffs against U.S., and also that 25% includes cars, because a lot of those cars that used to be in Detroit are now in Toronto.
Right.
So now if anybody wants to go get a car, you better, I don't know when it's going to kick in the first day, but you better get it quick.
Run. Buy everything you can now. Run. So Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow and predicting 6 more weeks of winter. Okay. So, boo, Punxsutawney.
Well, I'm going to tell you, today.
It's chilly.
It was, in the last few days, it was actually mild.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
But today, for some odd reason, it was
chilly.
Really cold.
Yeah.
So, yeah, screw you, groundhog.
You
need to be bushmeat.
You're not my friend. Did you say bushmeat?
Bushmeat.
I can't with you.
Oh, let me tell you a story, real quick.
I'm scared.
So, there was a guy who came to my job, right? And he was like, "Hey, can you come to the car for me? I need you to see something. I got something in the car." So, I think he might have told me. I think he had a groundhog.
Stop playing.
Yeah.
Like live?
Yeah. Yeah. So like, me, I'm like, let's go see the groundhog.
Right.
So I go see the groundhog, and it was in a cage, and it was not happy because I was looking, getting close to it, and for some odd reason it was like clicking his teeth. I was like,
oh, that just gave me the chills.
I said, so, what are you trying to do with it? He says, well, yeah, we caught it, so I'm coming to turn it in.
What?
Yes. I was like, well,
it's not animal control.
This is a police station. We don't take those. I said, why don't you just put it out in the field somewhere?
Yeah.
Take it to the park. He's like, well, I called Department of Natural Resources. They said we can't do that.
You can't let it go?
Initially what I said, he said he didn't know what to do. I said, what I said? I said, why don't you eat it?
Oh my God.
So he said,
no, you did not say that.
He said, well, I was going to, but they said, because, back in our country, they call this bushmeat. So that's what meant bushmeat, right?
No.
I said, hey, look, I ain't going to tell. So, but if you you're worried about violating any laws, just put it out in the field somewhere, just take it, whatever. And they said, well, no, they told us we can't do that. So, yeah.
What you call people for? You should have just let that daggone thing go.
I was like, you tell them, if you get in trouble, you tell them, Officer Glass told you can release it in the field.
Yeah, just let it go somewhere.
He had it in his basement. Yes, he had it in his basement until he could figure out what to do with it. So he said, well, let's take it to the police department. So I was like, man, look, quick, go out there.
So where did they catch it? In his yard?
In his yard.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I guess it was, doing some damage or whatever.
Put them bad boys in Gwen Oak Park. I see him over there all the time.
I got one, I think it's in my neighbor's yard, but he always comes across to my yard. So I'll be throwing carrots back there.
Yeah.
We family.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Well.
The bush meat.
Yeah, we're not having any bush meat.
So, listen, now getting back to all the little shenanigans that's going on right here. They got the firing of the federal workers.
That's just insane.
How does it?
How can he get away with that?
Yeah, exactly. Because he's
what I
testing.
Know.
He knows they have control of Congress, and nobody's going to challenge him on it. So only time he's going to be able to do that is if it gets through a lawsuit. So what happened was
this is so disrespectful.
He froze all foreign aid. He froze this.
Yeah, it's
domestic
aid
too.
Yeah.
Till he got sued or threatened to get sued, and then then the Supreme Court told him, he has power to do X, Y, and Z. So you have that, and then you have.
But they say that because their jobs are stable.
Yes, yeah, and of course they would like to see the stuff that he has going on. And he says he's terminating the federal contracts.
Oh my God.
Union contracts.
Oh my God.
So he said if anybody who got a contract that was negotiated within 2 weeks before my inauguration, I'm terminating those contracts.
Oh my God.
So he's going to terminate the labor contracts. And he's like, and because they knew he was coming in. So the administration was trying to get these things done.
Right.
That's
why I was like,
whatever.
how does he have all of these bills to sign and it's only your second day? Like how?
Oh, all that.
But they got them. Yeah, they started that way before.
Project 2025. They're going down the list.
They sure are. They're going down the list.
So, but
oh my gosh.
I feel bad for some people, and
yes.
but you asked for it.
Yeah.
So I just hope that the people who actually put him in office, I hope you feel the brunt of his actions more than anybody else. That's just me.
But that's not good. It's spread all across. Everybody is going to feel it. And I feel like he's not going to take responsibility for any of this. It's going to be Biden's fault, the liberals' fault, the black people, the brown people, anybody other than him.
The trans people.
Let's not forget that off the list. The trans people. Let's not forget that. It's going to be their fault too. So, I'm just sick. I'm sick. And I'm hoping I'm not just going to consistently have this sick feeling for the next 4 years, but I feel like I am.
We'll become numb to it as we always.
Yeah.
But then he's talking about opening Guantanamo Bay. He said, we could get 30,000 beds there. So the people that he deports, he'll send them to Guantanamo Bay to process them and they can wait there until.
Do you know how much money that is going to cost?
Exactly. And the people who oversee that said that, we don't have 30,000. No way you can do that.
Right.
That was way back when, not now. So he's figuring out all ways. And like I said, and as much as we talk about immigration, how bad this whole plan is, I'm not going to criticize him on that as much because it's within the legal realm.
Okay.
It's him applying the law. That's what he's doing. And I can't criticize him too much on that. But the other stuff where he's violating laws and stuff like that, that's just nonsense. And the lunacy about the tariffs, whatever. But
how to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to chumbacasino.com.
chumbacasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit chumbacasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
He said it.
I guess my thing with immigration is you're just not looking at the long game of
Correct.
this. I know that you want to deport people. I know if you feel like they're here illegally, or I'm in agreement if you do a crime and you're here illegally. Right. Okay, yeah, right. You gotta go back. But you're just not looking at the long game. They pay taxes. They're in our communities. They're people that we know.
But they committed crimes by coming across the border. That's his thing.
Okay.
Right? So.
Okay. But, you taking their taxes.
Yes.
You're taking their tax dollars.
He also there was a restriction on it when it comes to immigration. You couldn't go into schools. You couldn't go into churches.
Right.
You couldn't go in.
Medical. Was it medical?
I forgot which one, but that's off the table now. So they're actually going into the schools. They're going into
these poor
the churches
kids at the schools.
So yeah, one of the kids got jammed up on it, and he was a citizen. And they asked him to see his ID, and they was interviewing him. And then when they talked to the kid afterwards, he was like, "Well, I was just so scared."
Yes, they gotta be terrified. They have to be terrified.
Workplaces. That's what it was.
Okay.
So it's workplaces, churches, and schools.
Right. But now he's like, I don't care. You can do all of that.
Any of that.
So let me just put this out there, and I hope I'm not being disrespectful in any kind of way to anybody. So your favorite restaurant has a good amount of people who may not be legal.
Right.
So you just go into this restaurant and take all of these people out.
Yep.
So now
you can chase them out the back door.
I hate you. So
I can see it.
Now you've taken out, let's say half of the workforce, right? And at some point you may be forcing these people to have to close their restaurant.
Right.
But there are other people, the waitresses, the reception person that takes your reservation, the person that your accountant, like all of these
unemployed.
Right. All of these people are going to be unemployed. So if you do this 100 times, 200 times, 300 times, you're crashing the economy.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, too, what you just said, there was something I pulled up where he said the workforce, the farm workforce in California and Texas had dropped like some ungodly
because people are scared to come to work.
That's exactly what it was. They stopped coming to work. But it was like, I was like, damn, it was like 50, 60%. I'm just throwing that number out there. It was a lot.
Enough that it's going to make a significant difference in the produce that we get, the quality of the produce that we get, and the fact that it's going to cost us an arm and a leg now.
So it's going to slow the harvesting and the processing and stuff like that. So that makes it higher.
Right.
The loss that you may have for being, that's going to make it higher.
Right.
Plus, you got, not won't so much the tariffs won't, but it'll raise the overall price of food along with all the stuff that's coming in. So I'm trying to figure out what, and I said, Elon Musk said it ahead of time. He said, I'm going to admit it. It's going to be hard for most of you these first few years. Not him.
Right. Of course not him. And of course not any of his other cronies and all of the other people. It's not. Of course it's not.
So, and the whole thing is, we're going to, they offered some of the people, the federal government workers.
Yeah, like the retirement thing. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So they're trying to shrink the government so much that, or pressure them into retiring so they can replace them with loyalists. or just keep the thing low. And of course, if they're spending less on government, then that means you can justify those tax cuts.
Oh my God.
Forget about the rest of people that's going to be unemployed.
Right. Or homeless, because, everybody I know only got a couple of paychecks before it's going to be an issue.
Yeah. Now, and that's another thing I was thinking about, the people, just the idea behind it. So he's going to increase the tariffs coming through all the products coming in. There's a lot. I said the biggest one was Kellogg's for me, because that's what I looked at. I started looking at everything in my cabinet. It's like, oh, that's Canada, that's Canada, that's Canada. So you want to lower the tax rate for the wealthy, right? And people are saying, oh, well, we need to make them start paying. They don't understand that they're not paying. We are paying.
Right. We are paying.
Essentially, that's a tax on the American people.
Yes.
So doesn't work out.
Jesus Christ. Okay, this is giving me an upset stomach. And our topic today is going to gave me, oh my gosh. I was researching and was just getting angrier and angrier and angrier.
I was surprised with some of them. I looked up some books. We're going to talk about, book banning in the U.S. And, should we be concerned? I'm always concerned about banning any, because one, I think is a violation of, your First Amendment.
Freedom. Yeah. Your freedom of choice.
It's like they're trying to hide certain things.
Yes.
Yes. Whatever, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. So, the plane crashes what's happening in the news this week. That's just it's so sad, and condolences to the families. That's just so sad.
Sad for me because I don't even like flying.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I would take a train, drive, or bus any place that I can. A land bridge.
Yes, you will.
But,
yeah. Yeah, that's sad. I'm not even going to talk about the orange one, because that's what his name is going to be for me from now on. We've talked about him enough. Thank you. So one of the things that we talked about having as a topic for this podcast was banned books, because I'm an avid book reader. Mm-hmm. I just joined my first book club. I'm all excited. The Cloak and Dagger Book Club. Shout out to you guys.
How many members?
It's a good amount, like 80.
80?
Yeah, because it started online. It started as a Facebook group, and now we're starting to meet in public. And our first public meeting, we got iced out by the weather. Like it was too cold and too icy. So we're going to try to meet for February.
So you're going to have 80 people meeting?
I don't know. It depends on who can make it. Everybody probably can't make it.
In the area, though?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I'm very excited. We did the first one virtual, which was hilarious. And it was fun. And we do psychological thrillers. That's our books that we read.
So who chooses? Is it like a vote? Or?
Yeah, it's a vote. Like she gave us 3 books. The woman who decided to start it. So she gave us 3 books, and we all clicked on what we wanted to read. And just so happens this book had 3 parts. So we read the first part for January and did the 2 parts for February. So I finished the other 2. And let me tell you, I hate these people. I'm just going to say in this book, I just hate these people.
So what's the book now?
We don't have anything yet for February, because we read part 2 and part 3.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss that in February, and then we'll get a new book. But last night I was like, I got to finish this, because I hate these people. I just don't like these people.
Let me in a group. I would like to recommend some books.
No, thank you. So, books have always been near and dear to my heart. I was a young reader. We used to do the bookmobile in school. Like, that's probably what started it for me. Very young, we did the bookmobile. They came around. You could buy books. I always I knew where all the libraries were. A lot of times if you wanted to know where I was, like, check the library. She probably up the street.
Did you have the Riff thing? I guess it's the same thing. Riff was
reading is fundamental.
Yeah.
It's probably the same, like you said, because they would come around on like a little trail, a camper, and you could go and pick your books, or they used to give us the thing that you could check your books off and buy. We did that too. So books have been a thing for me. always. And I just, one of the things that started it in me, like I was watching something on TV and the black people couldn't read. And I was just like, why can't they read? And I remember being young, and my mother was just like, they weren't allowed to read. I'm like, how can you not be allowed to read? Like, I didn't understand that. Like, that just didn't click.
It's power in reading.
It is a lot of power in reading. Yeah. So, that's how banned books came a part of this podcast, because I wanted to talk about it. And doing my research, I got angrier and angrier and angrier. Because this is some BS, family. It is some BS. So basically, the United States has banned over 10,000 books.
Well, when you say United States, is it just in general, like the
in general?
Okay, so different
and all the public
schools
and all the public schools. It didn't say, like, all of my research. It didn't say actual physical libraries, like the freestanding ones, but they did say public schools.
Okay.
So most of this is from public schools.
Okay.
It may be from libraries too, but what I found is from public schools, which
10,000 books.
10,000 books.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Wow.
Like, I can't even wrap my head around that.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of books. Between... Oh, it just makes me so sad. And of course, Florida... And Texas.
No surprises there.
And Iowa. But Florida and Texas are the two top runners for books. They banned the most books. July 23 through June 24, that's the school year. They banned 4,561 books.
Wow.
I'm starting to wonder what's left in your school library.
Wow.
Yeah. Texas, in that same frame, did
oh, wait a minute. So that was just Florida?
That was just Florida. That was just Florida. So in the same time frame, Texas did 1,500.
1,500. Wow.
Yeah.
So I did look up for Florida, and it's that law, not so much of the number. It said that this is 2025 now. So in 2022, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed legislation in the state banning books in schools that included any kind of sexual explicit material. Said under the law, teachers are required to remove books that do not appear on a state-approved reading list. So that means even if it's not sexually explicit material, if you have a state-approved reading list, they might just decide to.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So it's probably books that they decided to ban and you don't even know it.
Right. Because it's not on the list.
It's not on the list, so you don't even know. Yeah. and the primary reasons for books being banned, like you said, sex. It's LGBTQ AI plus, people of color.
Okay.
Mostly people of color who talk about slavery.
Yes.
Let me just roll that back, or any type of oppression.
Right.
Anything that's sex related.
Okay.
Any characters that have any kind of sex, yeah, so it's like 57% was sex related.
Okay.
44 characters of color or slavery.
Okay.
44%, and then 39% was LGBTQ.
So,
but that was in 22, so it's probably higher
and
now.
Going back, at one point, and I looked this up. I didn't have to look at it. I knew it from years ago, but Huckleberry Finn was one of them that was actually banned.
Why?
Have you read Huckleberry Finn?
100 years ago.
Nigger Jim?
Oh, yeah.
That was a socially
acceptable
book about slavery.
Yep.
Because it was about him and Jim on the river, and all the things that come into that.
That's right.
So, just imagine that. We look at today, and so, but I also found that a lot, when I was looking at all the books that were banned, I'm like, any damn books, a lot of them made good movies.
Oh, absolutely.
So I was like, wow.
Absolutely. A lot of them made good movies. A lot of them need to be read. Period. It's just this, and I'm just still stuck on like, how do you get to decide for my children?
Right.
How do you get to decide?
Well, they said something about the parents in some cases were offended by what the kids. Now, you and I are parents. How many times do we actually know what's in their library, what they're reading, right?
Right.
We kind of leave it up to the teacher to say, whatever. So I think that was a bunch of BS. They might have, advocacy groups,
right,
that decides, well, we want to make sure that there's this not in the because we're religious fanatics or whatever. But
and I want to know how many of those people read all 10,000 of these books, because I printed the 100 from 2010 to 2019. It might have been 8 of them on there that I actually read.
Really?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7.
7?
It was 7 out of the 100.
Out of, like, you talking about from all the schools?
No, out of the 100 that were banned between 2010 and 2019. Okay. Yeah, out of all the schools. These are the list. So yeah, 7. Captain Underpants. My grandson right now watches Captain Underpants. Well, it's a cartoon now, but it was based on some books, and it's just a kid that him and his buddy go through school causing mischief. And the last episode I watched, they turned the principal into Captain Underpants to try to get him to do what they need him to do, and he's like a little superhero in his underwear.
And they banned it because
I don't have a clue.
The word underpants.
Is that what it is? I don't have a clue. Really, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I did look at AI, some AI stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they said, and AI is usually they're not going to talk about real risque stuff.
Okay.
When it comes to, So they said that the books are often banned or challenged in the U.S. for a variety of reasons. When you said sexual content, offensive language, violence, imagine that. Violence. Of all the violence that right? Religious or cultural sensitivities, political or social views, which I thought was a big one.
Yeah.
Racial issues.
Yep.
They said anything that explores race, racism, or history concerning slavery, segregation, or discrimination. Right.
Yep.
Ideological or moral concerns, like that's when you get your LGBTQ
plus. Right.
So
I swear they slap morality on some stuff, but these people act like they don't know what morality is.
Exactly.
Okay, so some of the most common books banned are Judy Picoult. I know I'm not saying her. Picoult.
I don't know.
Picoult.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Judy, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but the most recent one is a book called 19 Meetings. And it's about a school shooting.
And they banned it?
But that's not why they banned it. They banned it because it's a gang rape.
Okay.
In there. But mind you, you did take offense to the school shooting.
Right. Well, all right, I'm glad you brought that up. It's funny, in our society, right, of all the things that's acceptable, you can go to the movies and see, or on the television, all of this crazy violence.
Right.
People getting their head cut off, all types of stuff like that. But they don't want you to be exposed to anything sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of them I definitely took issue with. Like 50 Shades shouldn't be in anybody's school.
Okay.
It shouldn't have, I felt like that shouldn't have been in anybody's school.
You read that?
I read all 3 of those.
I haven't seen the movies or so I don't know. I can't.
It shouldn't. I don't feel like that it should have been a book that was in a school. Yeah, you probably should be good and grown before you start reading it. It's about
the book. I'm assuming, is it more explicit than the actual movies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it's about bondage.
I'm gonna pick that up.
Family, it's gonna be hard to get through this one. It's about bondage and this gentleman's sexual preferences.
Okay.
And they skew, a little to the left, I guess I should say. Not something that your average person may be into.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Okay.
He had a whole playroom with toys and all of that stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, 50 Shades
That's
I felt
normal.
like might not have been, I'm gonna skip right over what he just said. May not have been appropriate.
Okay.
For school. I will say that. But one book out of the whole list that I read was just like, okay, wait a minute, what's wrong with this? This all of Stephen King's books.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
Really?
Was shocked about that one too.
Stephen King?
Yes.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. All of Stephen King's books.
I read quite a few of those. And
yes.
I don't think he has some language in there, but that's you probably see worse out here every day. Kids going to and from school.
Right.
That's
you,
crazy.
Them kids cussing.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you say. They cussing and they saying names that they probably shouldn't say. I don't care what you say. Them kids is doing that.
Yes, they are.
Know. They are.
Wow.
Yeah, so and most of them, like I looked up a few. Perks of Being a Wallflower was Sex and Drugs, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show was have you ever seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Is that where Oh wait, I'm trying to think. I always get these confused. That's not with the Feed Me Seymour.
No, that's oh my gosh.
All right.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay.
That's a Little Shop of Horrors. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I know why
that's the drag.
Yes,
okay.
that's why they banned that. But it's freaking hilarious.
Okay.
But yeah, that's why they banned that. So
I used to see it on TV.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, they still run it. And they have a whole cult thing with that. Like people go to the movies, and it's a whole big thing with that. But yeah, Sold. That one I thought was real interesting, and actually I might read. It's a lot of them now.
Sold?
I want to read. It's called Sold, and Patricia Cormack is the author of this book, and it's about a 13-year-old girl in Nepal sold into prostitution.
Okay.
Human trafficking.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I might. It's a lot of them. Like after I looked it up, it's like, oh, I might need to go back and read some of these. 13 Reasons Why. That's a TV show right now. 13 Reasons Why is like I think it's a Netflix. I think. It's about a girl suicide. And she committed suicide, but she left 13 clues as to why she did this, and she had her friend go to each step as to why she did that. So what comes out of that? So it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of things that I feel like maybe kids do need to explore. Like stop. And sometimes the only way they can explore things is to read about them. Some things they may not be comfortable with talking to their parents about. Right. And maybe this is the only way to find out about some things.
And some of those subjects might be interesting enough for them to actually read.
Right.
So I remember when I was in the 7th grade, I think I told you about this one, right? We Miss Fetter, R.I.P., great English teacher. We had to do a book report. So 7th and 8th grade. And I remember, even when I was home, I used to always read the stuff that my mom had around, like the 16th Round with Reuben Hurricane Carter.
Oh, wow. That was a good one.
What's the one with Colton Holefield and Phoebe? The Catcher in the Rye.
Oh,
I read that.
Yes.
This is like a kid that reads these.
Yes.
Right. But I did my report on, it was a Western, Bolt and the Virginia City Virgin. And imagine what that sounds like is exactly how it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would have been banned.
But I did it. It was a good book.
Right.
I did it and, whatever. But
that would definitely
trust
been
your
banned.
kids. Let them,
Yeah.
might want to know how the Wild West was back then.
That definitely would have been banned now. Absolutely. Or how about you leave the books in the library and you as a parent say, these are the books that I don't want you to read. But that's just going to make the kid go read it.
Yeah.
That's just going to make the kid go read it. For real. The Hunger Games was on here. Like, it's
really?
a lot. Yeah.
I didn't even see the movies.
I haven't either. And I kept saying, I'm going to watch them.
You want to do a...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We'll popcorn.
How many?
Food.
How many is it?
It's 3.
It's 3. You sure? I thought it was more.
Books or I thought you was talking about the movies.
The movies.
Yeah, I think it's 3,
Oh,
and
okay.
I think 1 is about to come out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. It angers me that people would take books. It angers me that people would ban books that teaches us about the world and different cultures, different ways to live. But
So a lot of them, but this is what I've heard in the media, in news, right? I hear some of the people talking, and Donald Trump was one of them, and it was he was on a stage with somebody else, and they were saying that, hey, the keyword was woke.
Yes.
Can we keep these, woke books and the woke this and whatever? He says, yeah, sure. I'll make sure that there's no federal funding if they stop. I mean, if they
carry any of these
books or have any curriculum that supports that, right? So I started looking it up. It said the some of them, the politicians or political groups that challenge books based on a focus on social justice and identity politics. Again, that's your LGBTQ plus, right? And anything that address race or gender issues or injustices thereof, right? Anything that's perceived a threat to traditional values, right? Oh, so they want us to go to be Puritans, I guess. And it's so funny because they always mention, it's my First Amendment rights, but you're
trampling it on mine,
right? So anything, cultural wars, right? Protecting children or moral panic. I was like, what is moral panic? Right. Anything that they feel that it shouldn't be age appropriate. So those are the things that they were trying to, but
the reasons.
Yeah. So now, funny, these are some of the books. I think I got 10 or 25 of them.
Okay.
That were really good books, I thought.
Actually, it's 5. Hunger Games.
It's 5?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah, right.
So these are, now, tell me if you read any of these or if you heard of them.
Okay.
These were books that were at one point banned.
Okay.
We're going back in time. The Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
By J.D. Salinger.
Yep.
And I love that book.
Yep.
It reminds me of me and my sister's relationship, my younger sister.
Okay.
The Grapes of Wrath.
Yep.
By John Steinbeck.
But they're talking about these are classics.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
I love that book so much.
And I didn't read the book like I was supposed to.
I love that book so much.
Cliff Notes.
Yeah. You saw the movie.
Yes. The Color Purple.
Oh, I love
Walker,
Color
which
Purple
I couldn't
too.
understand why that one though.
Because Suge and what's the main character's name?
Which one? Oprah?
Yeah, no. Celie and Suge had a relationship in the book.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. I read the book.
Right.
At home. That was,
right.
That's the only part I remember.
I hate you so much.
That is it. That's the only the description. The little button. I remember that.
I hate you so much.
All right, but Beloved by Toni Morrison.
Read that one too.
Did you like it?
It's sad.
It's sad.
It is very sad.
Is it anything that could be?
It's about a woman who kills her kids so they don't get sold into slavery.
Okay.
So it is a sad book. It's a good book, but it just hurts your soul.
Then you Gone with the Wind.
I know.
By Margaret Mitchell. You said wasn't that one of your favorites?
Yeah, I know. I hate to say that that's one of my favorite movies, but I will watch it all the time. But there's a mammy and there's slavery.
Okay. Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. And I'm just by the name, I'm assuming it's child sex or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. She was very young, and he was the adult was way too attracted to her.
Okay.
So that's he was what obsessed
the term they
with
call
her.
Lolita.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Of Mice and Men, which I can't.
What? John Steinbeck?
Yes. Of Mice and Men.
Okay, all of these really are classic.
Yes.
Really.
Catch-22.
I didn't read Catch-22.
I didn't read them. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley.
Didn't read that one.
Animal Farm by George Orwell.
Definitely.
And I can see that being a more
Mm-hmm.
political statement. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. And I can't understand just any of the things that I've read by Ernest Hemingway. I can't understand why that would make the.
I don't know that.
Maybe
one,
social.
So
I don't understand. As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. Now I'm probably going to get all these books and I'm going to have to read it.
Yeah.
A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison.
I read that.
Native Son by Richard Wright.
Yeah.
I think I read that. Maybe, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. I love the movie.
Yeah, I love that. I love both. I love both.
All right. I'm going to have to figure out. That's be something. I have to figure out why these are banned. What actually made them ban books? Slaughterhouse 5.
The One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is, Nurse Ratched was very, I guess you could say abusive.
Yeah, but that's not ban worthy.
I don't think any of these books are ban worthy, but so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
For Whom the Bell Tolls, another Ernest Hemingway.
What did you say? What did you say before that one? Slaughterhouse 5.
Slaughterhouse 5.
Okay, I
never
didn't
heard
read
of that
one. I didn't read that one.
That was by Kirk Vonnegut.
Okay.
I know I'm using these names. The Call of the Wild by Jack London.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
I've heard of that, but I've never.
Yeah.
The Jungle by Upton Sinclair. I think I've heard of that one too. Now, this is what I heard. Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence.
I know that book. I don't think I read it.
I didn't know about the book, but I know on If You Stay Up Late at Night on Cinemax. One of those, or you get Lady Chatterley's Lovers, and I know why. So now, this was one of my favorites. It was a weird, and I didn't read the books.
Okay.
But it was a weird movie.
Okay.
Clockwork
Orange.
Yes.
I knew you was gonna say that. Yes.
Anthony Burgess.
Yes. Clockwork
So
Orange.
I can see that being banned.
Yes. yes.
The Awakening by Kate Chopin. In Cold Blood by Truman Capote.
That was very good.
Yeah. So
very good. Very violent though.
Was it? Mm-hmm. Any more violent than the Terminator or any of those other things?
No.
Exactly.
No.
That's what I never understood.
Or any random school shooting. Come on, let's put it out there.
But even if you go back to the days when these books came out, let's say, I don't know all of them, but let's say the 50s or 40s, whatever. They had movies out there like what's the vampire movie? I was once see Nostradamus, but Nosferatu.
Yeah.
They had the Wolfman. They had
Yep. But a lot of the stuff they didn't show. A lot of this stuff that they
Psycho.
Well, Psycho was in your mind.
Yeah.
Because they didn't really show.
They didn't show the knife coming down.
Right.
But they showed the blood.
They did. And I noticed recently that one of the channels that I watch, I'm gonna take a little detour. I watched a show called Grimm. It is the most bizarre show ever.
I watched that.
Okay, so one of the channels that I watch it on, that it comes on, they started blocking out some of the bloody parts of what's happening, and I'm like,
that's now make sure it's the same. That's about the brothers Grimm.
No, this is about
okay.
It's kind of based in that in a way, but this is about a police officer in Seattle. Is that the same one?
No.
Okay, no. This is a police officer in Seattle who comes from a family of Grimms, and what Grimms are they fight Vesson is what they're called. So you could be a werewolf. I could be.
Well, I think that's how.
That's kind of, and that's what I'm saying. It's like kind of
so
based in that. So you will be a werewolf, but you would look like who you look like right now. Somebody piss you off, you can transform.
I would love that.
But not everybody can see you. But Grimms can see you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's what it's based off. And I noticed that the channel that I watch it on, they started covering up like anything that was bloody or any weird words that I guess whoever this channel is felt like
you remember
it
the
should
channel?
Be sentenced. Oh.
See if I got it. I would watch that.
It's not Cozy.
Oh, okay. It's one of those weird channels.
Comment, I think, or Charge, or one of them. Yeah,
it's
one of them. It comes on my Hulu.
Okay.
So, I started to noticing that, and I was like, okay, why are they doing that? Because when I watched it originally, they didn't do that. This is only the reruns, but that's a censorship issue too.
Sidetrack, since we're talking about channels real quick.
Okay.
Tubi must got the dumbest, worst funded movies on the planet. So when you were starting to say that, I was like, if they was doing, I'm like, is that a Tubi movie?
No, it's not a Tubi. And listen, My husband's like, I can't make myself watch this channel, but I watch it for classics. They have classic movies, and I'm a black and white movie girl. Okay. So they have all of those. Like, and every day I get off, I watch one of them movies.
Like Tubi.
So that's why I watch Tubi. That's
free.
why I watch Tubi. Yeah.
You get what you pay for.
And for Pluto, I watch Mission Impossible and all of those.
The old one.
The old one. Yeah, the original. I watch all of those old shows on those kind of things. So and I be walking around singing that song, and just like, why are you singing that song? Yeah. So
I thought the coolest dude on that thing was I don't even know his name now, but the guy with the white hair.
Oh yes.
Because he is like in the black eye.
Yes.
So when you saw them, you knew that was the show.
Yep. And maybe that's another reason why I watch it too, because like it wasn't a lot of us on TV.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And they and when you in the house full of people, it's just like, hey, there's black people on TV, and everybody will come running around this little black and white TV. I'm telling my age.
We should do one on some of those old shows.
Okay.
Like The Rookies.
Oh, I used to love The Rookies. When you say old shows, in my head, I'm going a little bit further than that. But I get that you're not that old. I'm showing my age.
I mean, I was a little when that came out, so we used to. And they used to come on the evening time, so we would sit down in front of the television and we watch the Rookies came on.
Yep.
So that was prime time.
It was prime time. Oh, my thing was used to love the Mod Squad.
The Mod Squad.
I was obsessed with Mod. Yes, with Blink and afros. I'm still obsessed with afros.
So I was just saying that. I said I think I sent it to somebody online. I was like, man, I wish we could go back to those days. I don't know if I was watching something with like Good Times and some of the old movies you saw back in the day, but the women especially, I love when they had these. Oh, it was the Emotions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they had like, big afros. I'm obsessed with afros.
Even the ones that had the gold afros.
We have gotten so sidetracked. It's easy for us to get sidetracked. It really is. But yeah, we got sidetracked off of TV. But I'm so upset about some of these books. I'm upset, period, about books being banned. And I don't know how we reverse it. Or can we?
I don't think you can reverse it, but you can. And I thought about it when we were talking about it. I said, you know what? I can go online and come up with a website called bannedbooks.com.
Oh, they have like banned book clubs.
Okay.
Yeah, they have banned book clubs, and I'm definitely going to make it, part of my rotation to read some of these books, because there's no reason why a book should be banned. Diary of Anne Frank is on there.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, so they trying to get rid of anything that makes somebody feel guilty.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And what was the other one? Kite Runner. Kite Runner was also about the Holocaust.
Kite Runner?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just, yeah. Goosebumps. I don't know why Goosebumps was on there. You remember Goosebumps?
Yeah, every kid. Some of my kids had that. They had a whole collection of them.
A whole bunch of. I was just like, wow.
Because it glamorifies the occult.
Well, then why isn't Harry Potter on there? That's kind of magic, and you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not asking Harry Potter to be on there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
The autobiography of Malcolm X.
You want to hear something funny? The Holy Bible
is on there?
Yep.
Good.
The Holy But wait a minute. But if you're Christian, right?
No, but if you're not hypocritical, because in that Holy Bible, there's many acts of violence.
Yeah.
Right? There's violence. There's sexual stuff.
Yeah.
There's what else? The occult. Hey.
It depends on how you look at it. Yeah. Yeah.
So hey, we should take a break for our sponsorship.
Sounds good. We'll be right back after this message.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And we're back.
I just knew you were going to say something crazy.
I wanted to give a shout out to Costco because, you know, I always talk about how great the grapes are over there.
Yes.
Right? So Costco has some really good products. The produce is really good.
Yeah, the produce
really
is
good.
Very good.
And I always get these this bag of chicken patties.
Okay.
And they taste like Chick-fil-A.
Is it the Bear brand? Green and white bag?
Yes.
Yes, I get the nuggets.
Yes.
So the chicken patties are good?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I'm going to try the nuggets now because
I get the nuggets, yeah.
That way I don't have to buy the bread. So I'd rather, sometimes I just want to eat the patties. I'll cut it up, whatever. But it's really, really good and the prices are great. So yeah, Costco is definitely one of my favorite spots to go to.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah.
You just like to get all the snacks and all the samples.
Yeah. That's a big one too. Oh, the rotisserie chickens are by far the best. Plump, juicy. They're larger than the ones you get in Walmart.
Yeah,
and they're only $4 and something cents.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how they pull that off.
What I'm trying to figure out is eggs are like through the roof prices because of bird flu. That's what they say. Well, how come they got all these chickens? You know, just things that make you go,
Yeah.
Just saying.
I like chicken. And if, you know what? Honestly, if I wasn't lazy, I would have me a chicken coop in the backyard.
I have enough room to have a chicken coop. I have no desire
You got too many cats to attack them.
Oh, that's true.
No, actually, chickens, they know the joke too. They'll fight.
Yeah, that's true. And I've seen a fox in my yard.
Okay.
The deer, raccoons. Yeah, never mind.
We have fresh eggs.
Yeah.
Well, go to Costco, get your fresh eggs.
That's where I'm going to be going because Walmart's has gotten too high.
Yeah.
Walmart's has gotten too high. So, yeah. Back to our sad subject of banning books. You know, other people might not be sad. I'm just gonna say it's sad for me. I'm not gonna say it's sad, but
I think it's alarming because it's especially now we're in that age where it's setting a trend.
Right.
They don't want to talk about slavery. They don't want to talk about LGBTQIA plus. They don't want to talk anything that
the Holocaust.
So it's like you're trying to cover your past,
right?
And that doesn't work.
And erase
exactly
history. Yeah.
So that's alarming to me. And I think the only way you can counter that is to make sure that people know about these things and kind of promote those books so they can read those.
Right. So yeah, you can just Google banned books, and it's a lot of banned book clubs out there. And even with my plan a community, like in the I do a reading planner, and it's a challenge to read a banned book a month. So I'm definitely going to challenge myself to start reading some of these books that are banned.
I will say I'm going to look some of these books up, and I'm gonna get the ones I can get on iBooks or Amazon. What's it called? Kindle. Yeah, because I have to read my books on the iPad. I can't get the physical books because.
Now here's a little bit of a debate. Like I was trying to figure out like some of the people in my book club. Like I read 6 books this week, or you know, like reading an insane amount of books, or like somebody said they read 14 books. And I'm like, how you read 14 books in a month?
Yeah.
I had a hard time getting those 2 in.
Those are novelettes.
Well, some of them say they're short, and then some of them say that they listen.
Oh, the audio.
So does that equal actually reading a book? Would that be considered reading a book?
I would say no, because reading a book has other benefits. Like one, it kind of makes you learn words.
True.
Those little
That's
things.
very true. That's very true.
Things with letters and stuff. Now, I have audiobooks too.
Yeah.
And I listen to the Game of Thrones audiobooks.
Okay. Maybe that's how I can listen. Maybe that's how.
They put it in the accent and the whole nine.
Yeah,
I love it. So I'm definitely a fan of audiobooks because sometimes, like, even reading books, you know your eyes can get tired.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like the small fonts. I guess that's the age thing, but
yeah, you can increase your font on your
on the iPad. That's what I do.
Yep.
And I can change the background.
Right.
So
So that helps.
But definitely, when you and I don't know if it's just that particular book, but you can actually click on stuff and look at the definitions.
Oh yeah.
You know, they pull up a map of something. You know, it's I think it's good to read, but that the other one, they put the voices in there. And I'll listen to them while I'm cleaning up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So
that's a good idea.
That's why I do most of my stuff.
Maybe that's how I'm gonna get through Game of Thrones, because I was not able to get through Game of Thrones reading it. So maybe if I listen, that's a little better.
And
that might be helpful.
There's 5 books?
Is it? I don't know.
I think it's 5.
Okay.
The group is called A Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah.
So I'm only on the Game of Thrones book.
Okay.
I haven't even finished that, and it's taken forever.
Gotcha. Yeah, they are long. They are very long, but that's okay.
So,
you know,
they had the #1 book. These are of black artists
that were banned.
I mean, I say artists.
Authors.
Was I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou.
Yep, good book.
Then what was the others? That was #1. #2, Autobiography of Malcolm X, which
good book. Excellent.
That actually, of all the books I've read, that one had the most profound effect on me. You know, in my thinking, and then it didn't turn me anti-white or anything like that, but it gave me a thought about, you know, how the times were back then, and you know,
yes,
it was just a great book
and a different perspective on a lot of things.
Now, have you heard The Bluest Eye?
I read The Bluest Eye. Tony Morrison.
Yes. How did you like that?
I liked it. A lot.
What would make that?
I don't know. When I saw it on the list, I kept thinking, because it was a long while ago that I read it, and I kept trying to run it back in my head, like, why are you? But it's very non-white.
Okay.
Maybe that's the best way I can describe it.
It says the books deal with difficult issues like race, rape,
yeah,
incest making it a target for censors across blah blah blah. Okay, so this came out in 1970. I didn't know she was that old. Is she still alive?
I think she recently died. I think she recently passed.
Yeah, if she wrote writing a book in 1970.
Yeah, and
jeez.
You know what? I could have wrote a book in 1970. I couldn't. I couldn't.
I was born. Well, technically you could, but you wouldn't have been one of these novels.
It definitely wouldn't have been a novel.
Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston.
I didn't read that one.
So you heard of it, though?
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's about a young woman growing up in the Deep South via an extended flashback. Oh, okay. That would make a good movie. Is there a movie?
I don't know.
I'm wondering. Parents in Virginia attempted to ban the novel from the advanced English curriculum for sexual explicitness.
Yeah, she did. She died. Toni Morrison died in 2019.
Oh, okay.
I almost thought she had passed away.
Well, the last time I saw her on picture, I thought she looked pretty decent. Like,
yeah.
I know she was. I don't know how old she was, but Black Boy by Richard Wright. Now let's see. Chicago established his writing career, becomes involved in the Communist Party. There we go.
Yep.
Criticized for being anti-American, anti-Semitic, anti-Christian. The book came under fire for more than its perceived political and religious content.
Wow.
Okay. So,
wow. She was 88. Toni Morrison was 88.
Okay. She looked like a good 88.
She did. She looked like a very good 88. Yeah.
Some good books on here, and I think I'm going to go out of my way to read them.
Yeah.
Some of these I've seen the movie, but I can't imagine Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah. And like I said, they're considered classics now. I'm not sure Captain Underpants would be considered a classic, but you know, you should have an opportunity to read them.
Is the Catcher in the Rye movie? You think?
I think it probably is.
It probably won't be as good as the book, obviously.
Check
but
out Tubi. It's probably
no. All right. Speaking of, let me throw this out there real quick, and it's not related to anything.
Yeah.
But my son, I was trying to watch the movie Godzilla versus King Kong something, because he was like, "Yeah, it's a good movie," and it's snap whatever. And I was like, "Okay, it's on. I can see it on.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Okay. We call it streaming, whatever. I forgot which one, but I watched about 10 minutes of that movie, and I told my son, I said, that is probably one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen in my life.
Did you have any expectations going in?
Did.
Godzilla versus
I did, because
what was the album? Godzilla versus
King Kong.
Yeah,
but I did, because now this all the technology they got up there, it was just dumb. I was like, come on, it.
All of those movies have been dumb to me.
But King Kong, they got King Kong like he was not a ape. He was like a freaking caveman or some shit like that. I was pissed off. I was like, it didn't make sense.
I'm gonna need for you to lower your expectations when it comes to some things.
So anyway,
we will talk about movies soon. We'll do a thing on movies soon.
So yeah, we do have to remind people, February 14th is coming up, Valentine's Day. You know, get your tickets, www.hottopix, podcast.com. Get your tickets. We're going to have our wine and pasta social when we're going to also record our podcast, and it'll be very interactive, very fun. Come on out, 5 to 8.
Yes.
5 to 8 p.m. On that, whatever day that was.
Friday?
Is it a Friday? Yeah, it is a Friday. I believe it is Friday. So have some fun. Got some delicious food and some wine, and
come out and meet us.
Yes, and you can act out a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit.
Listen, I want to do to wrap this up. There was a quote that I wrote down that just kind of struck a chord in me, and I think I typed in why are banned books bad. Okay. And it said banned books are bad for society because they suppress knowledge, stifle creativity, infringe on freedom of speech, and limits diversity.
Okay. I would fully agree with that.
All of that.
And I have a more pessimistic view when it comes to, people banning books. I think certain people politically in West Virginia, Florida, Texas, and some of the other states are specifically trying to squash people from actually recognizing some of the shenanigans that they're up to. So that's just my thing, and it just so happens that they all kind of, fit like pieces in the puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
read a banned book.
Yes, read it. Read. They used to say about black people. I said, if you want to hide something, put it in a book.
Okay, read is going to be our word of the day.
Okay, word of the day is read. So thank you guys for joining us. If you have any ideas of any books that you would recommend that's on that ban list,
or not,
just let us know, because we're going to try to check those out. I know Lamb Chop is an avid reader. I'm a reader when I have nothing else to do. So unless I'm angry, I'm an angry reader.
Really?
Yes, I will have something spark, and I will just read because I'm so angry about it. But
you mean about the subject that you're angry about?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, I will do that. So, any birthdays for this month? George Washington.
Yeah, stop with that. It's Black History Month, and we didn't have a Black History fact today.
We do need to have, but
we will.
Black History fact. Did you know?
And we want to do something that people don't know. Like, people know all about, George Washington Carver. They know about Martin Luther King. Rosa Parks. We want to find some things that people don't quite know about.
Okay. That'll be easy for inventors. That's a great one. So, can we do next podcast? We could do Black inventors.
Absolutely.
That'll be going. Okay.
Absolutely.
Join us next week when we talk about Black inventors, because I think I'm a science guy, so I just love the fact that the creativity of humans, when it comes to
I'm
things.
with you, and like how they brain
yes
work. I'm with you on that one.
Yes. So, you guys, thank you for joining us, and join us next week. We're going to talk about some Black inventors for Black History Month. Got it.
Thank you, family, for listening to the latest episode of Hot Topics. As usual, listen, like, share, subscribe. Ta.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on chumbacasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at chumbacasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's chumbacasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.